creative art. I am Nilima and today we are going to do sculpture painting. Sculpture painting is done using sculpture paste and palette knife. Sculpture paste is a decorative paste which can be used to do 3D artwork and relief work. So friends, do watch the complete video to make a beautiful sculpture painting yourself, and do subscribe my channel friends for more creative art painting videos, and do press the bell icon to get notification for each video I post every week. In today's tutorial, we are going to make this beautiful sculpture painting with fairy and rose and an amazing theme of fairy dust. Starting with the fairy, we have this beautiful glittering shining fairy sprinkling her fairy dust on a rose to make it bloom, and the rose is slowly blooming one by one petal, and it is giving out its amazing essence to this world. Now let's check out all the materials I used to make this amazing and beautiful sculpture painting. First of all, we're going to need a base, and for that I'm going to use an oval shaped MDF board of 12 into 7 inches. For sculpture paste, we're going to use decorative plaster sculpture paste from Decor1ative. For base color, I'm going to use white and champagani. For making the rose, I'm going to use white and blush color. So these three colors would be enough for this painting. I mostly love to use white and blush color sculpture paste from Decor1ative. It actually has a very fine texture with an amazing fragrance and a very smooth application. So these two are my personal favorite colors. Other than that, we're also going to need palette knife. So I'm going to use palette knife number 10 and palette knife number 8 from Decor1ative. For decoration, this time I have used multiple things, from glitters, which is gold and silver color glitters, crystals, these are sticky backside silver crystals, metallic beads. For rose, I have used rose gold metallic beads. For base, I have used silver color metallic beads, Mod Podge for placing and sticking all the beads as well as the glitters. For colors, I'm going to use 3 colors. First is for the base, it's brown and bronze acrylic color. For the rose, I have just used a tint of neon pink acrylic color from Fevicryl. To make these side borders, I have used Fevicryl molded, which is a air dry clay. We have to mix it in equal proportion to make this borders, pressing it in a silicone mold, which I'm going to link you in the description box below so that you can buy the same mold. All these materials will be listed and linked in the description box below so that you can buy them online. And friends, you can also buy all these sculpture paste and palette knife from one stop, which is Decor1ative. I will mention you her Instagram page in the description box below. Now let's start the tutorial friends. First of all, let's start by preparing our base, and for that I'm going to use white color sculpture paste from Decor1ative. This is how the sculpture paste looks. It's absolutely ready for use. I don't even have to premix the sculpture paste. Directly take the paste and start applying it. Here I'm using palette knife number 8. You can also use palette knife number 10. This is how it looks. Next, I'm going to use a champagani color sculpture paste to do the border sides. Just simply lay a layer of champagani sculpture paste. Now after creating a border using the champagani color sculpture paste, slightly bring down the champagani color sculpture paste to the center in this way and try to create and mix it with white. Sometimes I also like to use my finger for this gently parts. It's much more easier to do it this way. Now to mix both the colors of sculpture paste, I'm just using a little bit of water in my finger and tapping and slightly dragging both the sculpture paste to mix in one another. Doing it all completely till the center to get that nice oval shading. Okay, so now this is how I want it to look. For me, the shading part is satisfied for base, so I'll keep it aside, and till that, let's start making the flower. After placing the last petal, I have let it get dry, and now this is how beautiful our rose looks. And while the rose was getting dry, I have also added a beautiful air dry clay border all over the base, and finally this is how it looks. So now friends, let's start coloring our base, because this is the only sculpture painting part we are going to do for this painting, and rest is a very creative and innovative part which I'm going to try and do in this painting. So for coloring the base, first of all, I'm going to use a little bit of bronze on the edgings, and then we'll also mix it with brown to color the clay part, and then highlight it again with some bronze and mix some gold with it. Okay, now let me show you how to do that. First, I'll start by coloring the outer surface using brown in this way. So we have finally completed doing the border coloring. Now let the color get dry, and then we'll start using bronze. Now the brown color we used for the border is completely dry. So now I'm going to use bronze acrylic color. It has got quite thick, so I'll just take it in my finger, dab dab dab, and then I'll simply dab it on the top of the design in this way. So this will actually give it a very nice antique look, because only the top layer of the design will be colored. So I'm going to do it all around the design in this way. And do the same from the inner side of the design also. Now we are going to do a shading on the inner side using the same bronze color. So take some bronze color in your paintbrush in this way and apply it in the depth in this way. Then use another flathead brush and gently drag the bronze color. I'm putting a little shadow under the rose, and Now finally, this is how it looks, as if there is brightness in front or on top of the rose. So this is a bright part where we are going to do our next step. Now after adding an antique look to the entire base, let's start decorating the center part. And this is going to be the most important part because this is actually going to give this painting a meaning. And for that, I'm going to need a very good glittering decorating part, and we're going to make it by using a little bit of Mod Podge. Then I'm going to mix pixie dust silver color glitters. Need to add a lot of glitters. The only reason I'm not applying Mod Podge directly to the base and mixing it with glitters first, because I don't want these glitters to get all around the base. Instead, I want it in few exact parts. Then mix some glue with glitter. Here I have used Mod Podge, which is a decoupage glue, with the silver glitters. And then we're going to prepare our next step. But so that this is not very surprising for you all, let me show you what we are going to put. On the top is this beautiful glittering fairy, and she is showering her magic on this flower. So I'm going to directly place this beautiful fairy on the top first. Use a paintbrush, and yes, don't worry about the mess because finally Mod Podge turns out transparent. So here I have used some Mod Podge. You can also use some glue. And then I'm going to place a glittering fairy on the top in this way. Okay, so this is how fairy looks. I'm going to make some beautiful hair over here for her, which is just curling down in this way. Super simple dot right here. So this is how our fairy looks. I will turn it out in this way, and then let's see how much glitter we can make in this part. Now after doing some glittering part, I'm again adding some Mod Podge, and this time we are going to do our second layering. You need a lot of Mod Podge in this part. Everything will be seen at the end, so do not worry about how it looks right now. I'm going to take some of my silver pearls and sprinkle them in this way. So this Mod Podge will actually stick this silver pearls with the base. After these silver pearls, I'm going to add some pink color pearls. I'm using this kind of metallic beads, and I'm going to put this only on the edging of flower. So this will signify like the aroma of flower. Well, now after 24 hours, the glue has got dried up completely, and this is how the beads, silver beads and the rose gold beads look. Okay, the glitters are completely dry, and this is how it looks. I have given the rose a little bit highlight of neon pink color. I love to highlight the edges of flower or any creation I do. I think it adds a dimension to the entire thing, as well as I love to add edging to the entire flower. You can see I have used a little bit of neon pink in my paintbrush, and using that I just did the outline or like a boundary to the entire flower. It actually helps you to define the edging or the entire dimension of the creation you do. The same I did with fairy, and now I think it is more defined and more visible as compared to the earlier thing we did. I just used 000 number paintbrush, and using that paintbrush I used a black acrylic paint and did a lining all over the back side of fairy. So now this is much more visible, and this is how it looks. So now friends, I'm thinking to add few crystals which looks like this. It comes in a strip like this. And I also want to add few metallic balls as we did on the base on the rose. So this will represent as essence of the rose which is coming from this part. So let's place few of these crystals and also these micro beads. Now one by one we have to separate these crystals from the string. It already has glue on the back side, and then place it where we want it to be. Gently press it and it will stick right on place. So I'm going to randomly place these crystals where I want. And now we will let this part get dry. Now to place these essence on the flower, use some glue in your paintbrush and just place it on the depth part of the flower in this way. In the deep parts in this way. Place it in every deeper part. Then lift up your art piece in this way, in a directional way, and start placing these beads like this. I will let it stick for now, but this is not the quantity which is actually going to stick. You just have to give it some time, space, then shake it off, and then all these metallic balls will fall off which has not stuck to the glue. So now friends, I'm going to let this part get dry completely. Let all the glitters and metal beads set exactly on the place where we placed it. Let the glue get dry completely till it has turned transparent, and then I'll show you how beautiful it looks. Now finally, after 24 hours, this is how beautiful our sculpture painting with fairy looks. The glue has got dried up completely and turned transparent. I absolutely love how beautiful, glittering and shiny entire painting looks because of the glitters and crystals. I have knowingly given only glitters to the fairy so that it may shine and twinkle each time the light is reflected. Just look at this beautiful crystals, glitters and the metallic beads on the rose. This is how beautiful our rose looks from a close-up view. You can clearly see from the top that all the beads are in depth, and you can clearly imagine how the rose is blooming, and this is the essence of the rose. It looks so pretty and so beautiful. The fairy is sprinkling her fairy dust on the rose to make it bloom, and when the roses bloom, it is giving the essence back. So this was the complete theme of our sculpture painting. I hope you liked watching this tutorial. So friends, do give it a try, make it yourself, and do tell me in the comments below what do you think about this tutorial. And if you do like my tutorials friends, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.